everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be different to my other videos. I'm going to be talking about the reasons why I considered Thailand as a place for early retirement. All of the reasons that I talk about today refer to my own situation. They may be different from your own, but I'm just going to be talking about the reasons, the main reasons why I am considering Thailand for early retirement. The number one and main reason for me is that I don't fare well during the winter months. The days are short, dark and cold, and often there's no sun about. And if you're the type of person that likes to get out and about in your spare time, like me, it's not the best weather for that. So anyone who is familiar with the weather in the UK during the late autumn and winter months knows that this is the type of weather to expect late October to March. March is the UK's official springtime, and at the end of this month the clocks go forward by 1 hour, so the days stay lighter for longer and the weather starts to improve. And once you do decide to retire, you're going to have a lot more time on your hands. And if you're anything like me, I like to get out and about, and I love to travel. So the UK weather during the winter months and late autumn months, it's not the place to do that really. My original plan back in 2018 was to retire to somewhere in Europe, somewhere closer to the UK, somewhere like Spain or Portugal, somewhere like this. Of course, that was before the UK left the EU. After the UK had left EU, it just seemed more difficult for expats to retire in these places. So I started looking around for places new. At this point, I knew absolutely nothing about Thailand. Of course, I had heard of Thailand, and it was after a video came up on my YouTube suggestion list that I started getting interested in watching more and more videos about Thailand, and I thought, you know, this might be a place where I could live. I have been to Thailand twice now. Not just Thailand, I've been to Cambodia and Vietnam. I'm returning to Thailand for the third time this coming February 2024. So the number one reason for me, and the main reason for returning to Thailand, is the weather. It's hot all year round in Thailand, and it does get cooler in some of the months. The wet season, which has most of the rain, temperatures range from 28 to 34 degrees Celsius. This lasts from June to around September. From November to February, most parts of Thailand experience cool and dry weather, and the temperature ranges from 29 to 34 degrees Celsius. Even when there is rain in Thailand, it's still warm, so it could still be 28-30 degrees, and it doesn't last for very long like in the UK. It may go away after a couple of hours rain, and then the sun's back out and it soon dries up. And the next reason that I'm going to talk about for choosing Thailand as a place to retire and live is the cost of living, and whether you can afford to live there or not. There has been in the past 12 to 18 months a significant increase in the cost of living worldwide, and nowhere more so than in the UK. The knock-on effect of this is increased costs of utility bills, gas, electric, water, cost of fuel, petrol and diesel. The list goes on and on. The direct impact of this once you have retired is that it decreases the value of your disposable income and your assets. I'm using my own situation here as an example, being someone who has worked all of his life and now is approaching retirement. So how can the increased cost of living be mitigated? How can you turn these things in your favour with respect to your disposable income once you have retired? You could invest some of your pension, and that may work if you have enough residual income to invest as well as to live on. There are, of course, risks to doing this. If the value of your stocks or shares decrease, you could have to wait 10, 15, maybe even 20 years for share prices to reach their previous values. And depending on your age and your risk levels, this may not suit your needs. You're going to have either some form of savings, investments, or a private pension to be in a position to retire early in the first instance. I'm talking about somewhere around 60 years of age, or maybe even a little bit younger. One way that you can make your residual income go further than it would do by living somewhere like in the UK is to retire to a country which has a lower cost of living for at least the same standard of living, or ideally an improved standard of living. I'm not going to do a detailed cost of living price for living in Thailand, as I've not been there for long enough. Every time I've been on holiday. But one of the costs I did do some research into, and that's the cost of accommodation. The cost for a one-bedroom condo close to the beach, sort of 3-5 minute walk, with amenities depending on how much you pay. Now, I have priced these up, and you're talking at the lower end around £250 per calendar month, and on the upper end you're talking around £550-580 per calendar month. Obviously you can spend less or you can spend more. This will depend entirely on your own tastes and standards of living. These are places where I would consider comfortable, clean, and have good levels of amenities. I'm talking about swimming pool, a communal swimming pool, gym, and some of these places have restaurants in as well. You will also have to pay water rates and electric rates, and if you want Wi-Fi, you usually have to pay that extra as well. So accommodation is going to be one of your biggest expenses, and comparing somewhere like Thailand against living in the coast in the UK, you're looking about 50% cheaper. Thailand being 50% cheaper, that is. Plus, yeah, you have the added bonus of warm weather all year round. So that's the second reason for considering Thailand as a place to live when you retire. I'm talking about a lower cost of living. And although I haven't done a detailed cost of living at this time, I will do one later on. But I estimated it will be, I think, 60% cheaper cost of living. Accommodation is definitely 50% cheaper than what it would be living somewhere on the coast in the UK. So the third reason for retiring to Thailand, and the last that I'm going to talk about today, is it's a good place for reaching other countries in Southeast Asia. You can reach most of the major Southeast Asia destinations from the main airport in Bangkok, Suvarnabhumi, including Chiang Mai, Phuket, Koh Samui, Hong Kong, Singapore, Korea, Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, Shanghai, Taipei, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, Phnom Penh in Cambodia, Krabi, New Delhi in India, Chiang Rai, Hanoi, and many others. These are all relatively cheaply priced depending on your destination, but just as an example, I took a flight recently in October from Suvarnabhumi to Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam, and it was £60 return. So if you are a budding explorer and you like to visit other countries, you like to see cultures, how people live, the historical places of interest that they have, Thailand is central to most other Southeast Asian countries, and flights are easily accessible and relatively cheap.